All right, everybody, in today's video, this has been highly requested by all of you across our social medias, YouTubes, everything in between, going through the roster and talking about what players I would keep and sell going into the 2026 season. Now that 2025 season has concluded, we can go through the roster and see who should stay, who should go. I am now the GM in this video. And disclaimer, all because I say a player should be sold, a player should be kept, and you don't agree with me, it doesn't mean I hate the player or anything like that. Just let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below if you agree, disagree. This is just my opinion, and everyone is entitled to their own opinion. So please don't take it personally, because we've done this video various times. I mean, I've had this YouTube channel now for over 3 years, and I know people get really upset when I say, hey, we should maybe sell this guy, or maybe we should keep this guy. And it's just a conversation. We are just all Sounders fans, Sounders homies, and we're just giving our thoughts. So I have transfer marked up. I think that was the best way to go through the roster. And per usual, though, before we jump into it, guys, we are on the road to 2,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you're new to the channel. We have loads of content we're going to be putting out during the off season going into 2026. And we want to hit that 2,000 subscriber mark before the season starts, even maybe go past it. And we might do a little cheeky giveaway for it. Maybe like Pedro de la Vega signed jersey, something like that. You know, we got those connections where maybe we can pull something like that for you all. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and then drop a thumbs up. You guys have seemed to been liking the off-season content, so keep liking it up. Keep pushing us forward. It has been a lot of fun so far during this off season, and there's only more to come. We're going to be the people, the page to talk about it, just like fans. I mean, at the end of the day, this channel is built by fans for fans, and that's what we are, just giving our thoughts, giving you all our information that we can find as fans and our opinions and everything in between. So I'm going to try to be relatively quick. I don't want this video to drag on for like 30, 40 minutes, because in my opinion, that's not necessary. Like maybe this is like a 10 to 15 minute video. This doesn't need to be like a 30, 45-minute video. It's just me and you guys. So I'm going to be relatively blunt about everything, and I'll give reasonings behind maybe my controversial picks and things like that. So starting off, Andrew Thomas, easy keep. I think he was the biggest winner last season from us. In my opinion, it goes Christian Roldan, player of the season. Second, Obed Vargas. Third, Andrew Thomas. I think he is the guy that has emerged, the crown jewel. I mean, I've been talking about this whole Andrew Thomas wave over a year ago now. Like, I've been on this for a while. Obviously, Stephen Fry had that little bump during the playoffs. He went off during that time, but Andrew Thomas was the biggest reason that we almost beat Minnesota. Yes, I know he misses penalty, but he did put us in two great spots to advance. But unfortunately, Obed and Osase missed those two PKs. Stephen Fry's up next. Many people on the channel, Brody, J. Ross, they have said, keep Fry as long as he wants to be a backup. I don't mind if Fry wants to stay and be a backup. I just think my problem is you have a great goalkeeper like Jacob Castro, who's been playing very well for Tacoma. That's what Brian Schmetzer has said numerous times. We have other younger goalkeepers like Mo Sure, if you guys are not familiar with him. I think it'd just be best Stephen Fry, just let his contract run out. I mean, dude, he's almost 40 years old. Next year, he will be 40. The goalkeepers are already familiar with him. They've already learned from him. I don't think we really need to, per se, keep him in regards to like, oh, he could help teach the other goalkeepers. Most of these goalkeepers like Castro, Thomas, Sure, they've all played under Fry for multiple seasons now. I'm cool with Fry walking to give Thomas the mantle, make Jacob Castro the backup. I think that's totally fair. So I would say first one, maybe it's a hot take, I would let Stephen Fry walk. But I've seen a lot of the comments by Sounders fans that I think this one's quite unanimous. Like Stephen Fry, letting him go or being the backup, and then just letting Andrew Thomas take the mantle. I just think we need to free up wages. That's the big thing. Like I don't want to play this pity party, sympathy party. Like we cut Ozzy. We were cutthroat. We let him walk. We let Nico walk. We let Raul walk. Like, we've been cutthroat with players. We sold Oba right before our season started. Like, we've been cutthroat with players in the past where we were our more successful versions of ourselves. We need to do that here. Free up wages, because those little things, they add up. The more players you let walk, the more wages you free up. Those little things add up to be able to make bigger signings, to have more roster flexibility. So I'm more of in the sense of I want more of this team to change. I want some more growth. I want some more positivity because change will mean positivity. Maybe not in the short term, but in the long run, we need to see this team start getting younger and see other players get chances, newer, fresh faces get chances, new blood, new energy, new tactics, new ideas. All these things can culminate. It takes one step at a time. And then moving on to the center backs, Reagan's a keep. I didn't also realize Reagan's 27. I didn't even know that. For some reason, I thought he was like 23, 24, 27. Holy smokes. He's older than me, even though I look like I'm 50. But yeah, he's 27. That's crazy. Yeah, I would say keep him. Yamar, I would keep, but again, be wary because he is 30. He's going to be 34 next year. I still think he's our best center back, but I would be wary of, the age. Like, let's not maybe hold on to him too long. Maybe next year could be his last year. But either way, keeps. John Bell, I think he's on his way out. He's out of contract. It doesn't look like the Sounders are going to pick up his option. I heard a rumor that Chicago Fire might be interested in him. So I'm cool with letting John Bell walk. I'd rather just give Stewart the minutes personally. Like, he's 9 years younger. So I'd rather just give those minutes to him. Kim Ki-hee, from what I know, is he's going to be staying. He's going to be with the team for next year. I would keep Kim, call next year as last year, and I think he's probably going to want to retire a Sounder, and he wants to live in Seattle. So I think next year should be his last year anyway. I'm cool with keeping Kim if you let John Bell walk, and just give Stewart those minutes. Let Stewart be the third string center back option. Getting younger, has had a lot of praise throughout his development with Tacoma Defiance. So I would like to see some more youthful competition there. Leo, Bernie, if you want, keep him. We didn't see him play. That's fine. Nuhu, this one's an interesting one because I've talked about it in many videos in the past about how we should sell Nuhu, his stock's high after AFCONs, after World Cups. This next summer is going to be another World Cup. Unfortunately, Cameroon didn't qualify. I just think the ship has sailed to sell Nuhu. If you could get a good offer in for Nuhu, I'd be open to selling him. I think it is not spoken enough throughout Sounders, fans, across MLS. Sounders got 9 red cards last season. It's a ridiculous number. And Nuhu got 3 of them. Nuhu got 3 red cards last season. I don't know how much I can take with Nuhu's childish antics some games for an almost 29-year-old player. He's not the young spring chicken he once was when he was on S2. Again, I would keep him. I'm largely more on the keep side, but if you get like a good offer for Nuhu, I would sell him. I don't think that's the case. Nico Moreno came out with a report saying that Sounders might be open to selling him if like good offers come in this and that. And he literally commented on that just with laughing emojis. Not even like 1, 2, or 3. There was like 10. So I think based on that, he's probably going to be staying. Reed, keep. Alex, keep. A little for me though with Alex as well, a little bit along the same like vein. Like if you get a really good offer for Alex, I don't mind selling him. You got guys like Kalani, you got guys like Cody Baker. Like I don't think they're great. I do think they're somewhat of a downgrade to Alex. I think Kalani is not an awful like option. Like within house, you could probably find like a good cheaper option. Like let's say we sell Alex for like, I don't know, like 4 mil. You can get like a cheaper good option in the league that probably does the same thing Alex does for maybe 2. I mean, that's a $2 million pocket money saved right down there that you could spend on a bigger transfer in the future. So this is just kind of how I look at things because I believe Alex is the highest valued market value at 4 million right back in the league. And we mustn't forget he's an El Salvadorian international, was the captain for El Salvador. He just doesn't play for them anymore because he doesn't want to deal with their BS anymore. So Kalani's a keep. Danny, exciting. Now that JP is gone, don't really need to talk about that. I really hope Danny gets those minutes now. I hope it's going to be mainly Christian, Obed, Danny, or even if Obed leaves, be it Christian, Danny, and Schneider. I like Danny. I like Schneider. I'd give them the mantle. Bring in if you want one more like mid-tier center mid, someone maybe at like 27, 28 years old, someone from the league. It doesn't matter. You can bring in one of those guys. You lose 2, like you have other good DMs that I think could deserve minutes. Like Schneider could be the Obed regen. Danny, you give him good full starting minutes for a full season, and a lot more teams might be interested in him, and you can flock him off, hopefully like you're gonna do with Obed, for I don't know, 4, 5, 6 mil. Again, that's more money you can reinvest in higher quality players, you know? I already touched upon Schneider. Most definitely I would keep him. Obed. So this is the situation with Obed. I think I've talked about it, I've brisked over it a few times in videos. Obed, I believe his option's already been taken. His option's there. He's here till 2026. I don't think he's renewing his contract, though. I think this is it. Either Sounders sell him during this offseason or he leaves on a free. Because there was the reports from CL Merlot. He's a very reputable reporter that Obed will leave on a free. But I think it's being like misinterpreted where he's saying he's going to leave on a free because his contract runs out in regards to after his option. I think a lot of the Mexican outlets are posting about it like at the end of this year, his contract's done, but I don't think they understand his option's been taken. But I don't think that report is like far off. I think it is true what he's talking about in regards to Obed will leave if Sounders do not sell him this off season or midway through January. But at the same time, too, if you all don't know this, if a player has only 6 months left on his contract, clubs can negotiate on a free transfer for the player. Then when he leaves, like he departs when his contract expires at the end of the season. So it's kind of now or never to get money for Obed. There was offers for him during the summer window last year. We didn't take him because I believe they didn't offer the evaluation we wanted. I don't know what the number was exactly, but that is why the Sounders didn't take it. He had offers from the championship. I can confirm that one. So yeah, it's kind of now or never. I don't see if we keep Obed, then he's leaving for free. That's the thing is if Obed is still a Sounders come the start of next season when the window closes, he will leave for free. For me personally, for in a Sounders standpoint, we are best to sell him now so we can make some money off of him. And you can't even blame Obed for forcing a move if all of this is completely true, which I think it is. Because at the end of the day for Obed, if he leaves on a free, he has a better chance and can have more interest from other teams because the teams don't have to pay a fee for him. If a player goes on a free, teams are way more inclined to go and to sign him because all they got to do is sign his contract. They don't have to negotiate with the club. So half the work is done and you can pay him a little bit more. And you don't have to pay a transfer fee. So that's cheaper for the club and more efficient for the club. As well for Obed, he wants to realistically play for Mexico at this upcoming World Cup. They have a bit of a midfield issue. There's Edson Alvarez, there's Gilberto Mora, and there's him. And Gilberto Mora obviously is a little bit higher on the pecking order because he was their guy during the Gold Cup. He plays in Mexico. Obed is set at a disadvantage playing for the Sounders in regards to his opportunities with the Mexican national team. So if Obed wants the best shot to play for Mexico, to be a key piece for them at this upcoming World Cup, he's realistically got to leave the Sounders. And the Sounders just got to play their cards right, look at the offers on the table, and just take what they can get for maximum money that both Obed and the club can be happily saying yes to. But them holding off and playing this risky business, trying to hold on to Obed for the entirety of the season, and him leaving on a free would be such an L for the club. For Obed, that's not a big deal. I don't think he cares. I think he'll actually have better offers that way. But Sounders, man, don't drop the ball on this. You guys could make some crazy good money off of Obed. And I would hope, fingers crossed, you can reinvest it in the squad and get big players that the fans in the club, this team needs. Fans been crying out for it. So that is just my take on Obed's situation. Next is Christian Roldan. He's a keep. He was our best player last year. Nothing really more to be said there. João Paulo is already confirmed. He is going to be departing this season. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I think that's a good step in the right direction to free up the wage book, to give the younger guys like Schneider and Danny more opportunities. Because especially for Danny, he's going on to year 6. He needs to start being a main guy for this team. And also, you can flip him for more money. It's called business. We need to make money. We need to start growing this team a little bit. So yeah, JP's gone. First hot take, Albert Rusnak. Yeah, I would most definitely sell him. Will it happen? Probably not. And fans hate when I say this. I think Albert had a good year last year. Like, Albert's a solid player, but he's just not DP worthy going into a 2026 MLS season. Look at DPs around the league. Albert just isn't a guy to grab the team by the scruff of the neck like you saw through Rui Diaz, Dempsey, Martins, Ladero. The list goes on. Stats wise, he looks good, but he is not the guy to show up in the big game. To be the high, don't forget, he's the highest paid player. He's making as much money as Dennis Bouanga. Pretty close. They're pretty close to making the same money. I would sell him. If you could free him up, a team might be willing to buy him. Albert Rusnak is a glorified TAM player, but he's the highest paid player on this team. And to anyone that might say, "Oh, maybe he's willing to take a pay cut." No, we've talked about this for years. He's not willing to take a pay cut. Why would a guy go from 3 mil to accepting like 1 point something? That doesn't make any sense. We made a big mistake tying him down to a multi-year deal when we could have just let him walk last year. Ryan Kent, his option's already been declined. I'm not super surprised. I had a hunch we were not gonna see him anymore pretty much after the injury he had in Leagues Cup. He did make a small cameo against Minnesota, but does it really count? No. Yeah, I mean, it's for the best. He didn't get enough minutes. I thought he looked sensational every time he played. I thought he looked like different gravy. I would have tried to have kept him, but it doesn't look like he's gonna be coming back, and that's unfortunate because I think he's a gem of a player to have on a non-DP deal. Because at the same time, guys, we have to remember he was the replacement for Paul Arriola because we put him on the end of season injury list. His wage didn't affect us, so that's why we're able to bring in Kent. And because Arriola will be back next year, Kent, it looks like we're not gonna pick up his option, which is a little bit of a shame. I would have tried to have kept him, but at the same time, I don't think Kent would have wanted to stay. Next up is Paul Rothrock. As we did a video talking about it, there's this whole dilemma right now with Rothrock. He's a free agent. He doesn't have any options or anything. Rumor has it he's asking for like a ridiculous, like not a ridiculous, but a lot of money, like apparently around TAM money. Again, I don't know how true it is, but he's asking for a lot of money. The club's like, nah, I don't think so. And am I in that inclination? Sorry, English can be tough sometimes. I would keep Paul for like a substantial upgrade. I think he's making around 100K a year. Give him a 2x, maybe a 3x, but anything higher than that is not worth it. I don't think Paul is like a crazy talent. Similar to Jackson Reagan, he's 26 years old. He's just had his first full professional year. And it's kind of like that Liao Chu situation. Do you want to keep running with it when his stock is high? Or just let him walk, free up the wage book, and give other guys a go. Think about it. We have Pedro, we have Ariola, we have Georgie, we have so many other wingers that maybe it's okay to just let Paul walk. It's not the end of the world. And it looks like Paul is leaning towards going for MLS free agency. And I think that's fine. Like, I don't have like massive attachment issues with players. I look at it in what roster could give us the best chance of winning. And if Paul doesn't want to stick around within the constraints of what I think would be best for our wage bill, I'm okay with letting him walk. It's really not the end of the world. So for me, I'm cool with letting Paul walk. If he's willing to take like a reasonable pay upgrade, then cool, you can stay. But I don't think he's worth it to bend over backwards for and try to pay him ridiculous money. But we'll see, man. It's not set in stone yet with Paul, but either way, I wouldn't keep him if he's wanting ridiculous money. Definitely not if he's wanting like 400K plus. Like, I don't think it's worth it. Pedro de la Vega, I am inclined to say keep, but man, my patience is starting to slowly thin with Pedro. He had by far his best year last year, but the injuries, man, he's going to be out to start next season, unfortunately. We saw his best ever stretch, especially during Leagues Cup. We saw his DP worthiness during that time frame. But man, it's starting to get tough with Pedro. And I think the unfortunate part is because our other DPs have not been panning out because we have Jordan, we have Rusnak, and Pedro has this weight where he has to be the guy. He's been the only big signing the Sounders have made since 2020. That's going to be rolling almost into 6 years. So it's unfortunate in that regard because I think if we had like, let's play a theoretical game here. We had instead of Rusnak, we had Ladero. Instead of Morris, we had Rui Diaz. Like they're like closer to prime versions of them. I don't think we would be as disgruntled about De La Vega because we've seen what he can do. And say if he finally gets healthy for a full season, we are okay with it because that'd be a killer trio. De La Vega, Ladero, Rui Diaz. I think that would have been fantastic. But because people are so fed up with the likes of Rusnak, Morris being DPs as well, it adds more weight on his shoulders. Again, keep out of all the 3 DPs, for sure, he's the one I'd rather keep. but it is getting frustrating with all the injuries that he is suffering. But fingers crossed, they rehab him up like crazy. My guy has got bulletproof knees, quads, hamstrings, calves, everything in between, and he can have a good year next year. Next is Paul Areola. We didn't see much of him this year. I was personally not even actually that big of a fan of us signing Paul Areola. He got injured after like 3 or 4 games last season. That's the risk you run, unfortunately, with getting older players that are very susceptible to injury. Paul has suffered a lot of big injuries in his career. He does have an option. I think it's already been picked up. It might not have been. If it was me, I would actually not pick up Paul's option. I would take Ryan Kent's option instead of Paul because he's 1 year younger, has way more experience, has played at a higher level, and I think could add more value to this team. He has more techiness. He has more game changer ability. And the thing is, too, I don't think you need Paul Areola and Rothrock. I think they both kind of serve the same purpose. So say if you keep Paul, I don't think you need Areola. Say you keep Areola, you don't need Paul. Obviously, with Paul, he's 4 years younger and less susceptible to injuries. That's just my take with the winger mashup. I would keep Ryan Kent. I would keep either or of Areola and Paul Rothrock, but that's obviously not what's going to happen. Georgie, obvious keep. My hope is, fingers crossed, he gets significant minutes next year. He just had a standout game for Burkina Faso. Both of his goals, saucy, techie, everything you want from a winger. And you can see with Burkina Faso, yes, maybe the competition's a little lesser, but he's got a lot more freedom to be his true self, to be techie, to take players on. There's less pressure there for him. And you can see him reaping those rewards. Georgie, all I'm hoping for is he is a big part player next year. Next up is Ferreira. Keep. If you get like a really good offer for him, maybe sell, but I'm okay with Ferreira. Like, say if you get rid of Albert, I'm okay with giving Ferreira like a go at the cam spot for a year without, shoehorning him out wide or at striker. Like, let him play as that second striker, cam, center forward, with like a Musovski or Osase, or say if God forbid the Sounders organization buys a top quality number 9 or a good promising number 9 that is not the dead Don Jordan Morris as he is, I think he'd be an interesting piece to the puzzle. And he's still relatively young. I'm not like in love with Ferreira. I think the thing that sucked was he was the marquee signing last season and wasn't quite marquee. He was just fine. He was a good, I said it when we first initially signed him. He's a good cog in the system. He's a good piece to raise your floor, but he is nothing more than that. And this club and this team desperately need a player that puts this team back over the top to getting to MLS Cup finals, to winning MLS Cup. So yeah, there's that. Jordan Morris, yeah, most definitely sell. I've been saying it for a few years now. We saw the best from Jordan last year, and I think that's as good as it's going to get. From the 3 DPs, Jordan is the one that I am most like, he's number 1. It goes Morris, Rusnak, De La Vega. He's the one that I would 100% look to sell. Last year would have been a great opportunity to try to sell him while his stock was high. Now he has suffered what? He had like 4 injuries this season, and he didn't look that fantastic, especially at the end in the playoff run. If the ball wasn't 2 yards out, where he just basically has to tap it in, or it goes off his thigh and his hip in. Uh, I don't know what more to say with Jordan. He's 31 years old, 2 awful knees, a bad shoulder, bad hamstrings. It's not going to happen. We're not going to sell him. But again, if it was me, free up that space, look to sell him, free up a DP spot. I don't think we're getting rid of any of the DPs. I think Rusnak, De La Vega, Morris will yet again, we're running it back again, will be our 3 DPs going into next season, which is such a shame. Musovski, Osase I'd for sure keep, 100%, no question, no debate. Danny Musovski, I would keep, but let's say I believe his option's already, it's confirmed it's going to be picked up. If a team comes in for a good offer for him, I would be okay with selling him. His stock is at an all-time high right now. Similar to what I said about Jordan, like the year before 2025, his stock was at an all-time high. Look to sell players when their value is high, where you can make a good, pretty penny for them. I'm cool with keeping Danny Musovski as a backup. Like, this is our Chad Barrett, Kenny Cooper right here, Osase and Danny Musovski. But sadly, they both had to step up to be the main guys for us. Like, they were the guys during our best stretch during Leagues Cup. That's why I'm like, I get such like a headache. Ah, man, even now thinking about it, like with Jordan Morris, he's our second highest paid player. But yet, this is the biggest takeaway I want to mention to everybody with Rusnak and Morris. And even Fry, we can throw him into the loop. Fry didn't play throughout all of Leagues Cup. Morris didn't play throughout all of Leagues Cup. Rusnak missed most of Leagues Cup. I believe he played the first 2 or 3 games, 2.5, I guess. Didn't play throughout the rest of it. And we played some of the best soccer I've ever seen without them 3. And 2 of them being our highest paid players. I don't know how much more I have to preach this, but we saw some of the best soccer, best performances, the most liveliness, alive Sounders fans I have seen during that Leagues Cup run. And those guys didn't play any real part in it. So that's my take with it. And then, as I said, Osase keep, Danny, I'd keep him, but they need to be backups. They cannot be main starters. Musovski, if you get a good offer for him, I don't mind cashing in on him. I really, really don't. But the main guy you got to get rid of from the strikers has to be Jordan Morris. You got to look for some good offers for him because he's getting only older. His joints, his muscles, they're all deteriorating at a very accelerated rate at this point. Again, it won't happen. Most of the things I said will not happen, unfortunately. We'll have to see what happens. But boys and girls, my opinion only matters so much. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. If you're new to the channel, we're on the road to 2,000 subscribers. If you guys want the latest news, updates, fans' thoughts on whatever happens, we will be going live. We're going to do videos. We have so much content for the off season. Make sure to subscribe, turn on those notifications so you don't miss out on the videos because sometimes they can get lost in the sub feed. So turn on those notifications so you get that right on your lock screen. You click it, bam, you're straight to the videos. It's easy peasy. I want to make your guys' lives easier. But boys and girls, I hope you all have a lovely day.